Hello game devs. In this tutorial we are going to create Google Dino Game without a single line of code. We won't write anything because ChatGPT will do all of them for us in this tutorial, and we will learn how to use AI models to create a complete game. And after that we will answer to the famous question of whether artificial intelligence will replace programmers or not. So, without wasting time, let's start. At first, we have to let GPT know about our game that we are going to create. In this video, we are going to create something like Google Dino. I think everyone know this game, but you may don't know about this game. I want to show you. This is Google Dino. It is a game that we have a dinosaur here, and it can jump over this cactus, and if we hit one of them we will lose. We are going to create this game completely with AI and without a single line of code, so we have to ask GPT what we want. For example, I want to create Google Dino Game in Unity, and then we need to tell GPT that it should do all the stuffs for us. For example, we can say something like this: I want you all the stuffs like codes. Only with these lines we can start to create our game. Now GPT is creating these files for us, and we have a player controller, game manager, obstacle spawner, and so on. And for example, this is our player controller, this is our game manager, this is our obstacle spawner, this is our obstacle, and some other code. And at the end is telling us that how to use this code. And as you see, we have this guide here. So let's start. At first, obviously we have to create a 2D. Here is my Unity hub. I want to call my game something like Dino. I think it's good for this game, just Dino, and then create project. Now we have our project, and after that we have to create our folder structure. Here we need scripts, sprites, and prefabs. Let's create them. I need a script, sprites, and a prefab. Then we have to create our player. For creating a player we need a Dino sprite. I have this Google Dino sprite here, and I just need to drag and drop this PNG here, and I will put the full project in the GitHub, and then I will put the link in the description, and you can find this sprite in this sprite folder. Okay, let's jump back into GPT. Now we have our Dino sprite, and now we have to create our game object, and we can just drag and drop this sprite here to create our object. I think it's very big. We have to make it a little smaller, for example something like this, or maybe it's better, something like this. Then we have to add a rigid body 2D and a box collider. So let's do them. Rigid body 2D and a box collider 2D. Now we did the physical stuffs that this game object needs, and after that we have to create our script called player controller, and we have this player controller here. Here is our player controller, so we just need to copy this, and here player controller. Here is our controller. Here we need just paste the code that GPT provided for us. Here is our code, and now we have all we need for our game, but we need something like this game manager. We will fix it later. Now we have our script. Then we have to create a game object for our ground check. We will use it for check that if we are jumping or if we are in the air we can't jump anymore, and we only can jump if we are on the ground. So let's rename this game object Dino, and then create an empty game object called ground check. Then we need to move it somewhere, for example, like here, to check the ground. And after that, we have to create a layer called ground layer. Here we can add a layer, ground layer, and later we will use this ground layer for our ground, and then we will set this layer to our ground. Then we have to set some properties like max jump and jump force, but now we can't do this because Unity can't compile our script, because now we don't have a game manager, and we will do it later when we are done with our game manager. Next step, we have to create our ground. We have to create a line object as our ground. For example, skewer, put them here. Scale big, for example, this line stuff here, and then I want to move my so now we have our ground, and then we have to set the layer and add a box collider to it. Okay, we have this box collider, we set the layer, and after that we have to do something for our looping. We have to create two of these ground and then group them in a parent game object. So I need to duplicate this ground, and then we have to create a game object and set this game object as their parent. And then I want to call this parent these ground tiles, and then we have to change their location. I want it to be here. I just set the minus. This should be completely 0, and so on. Now we have our ground. After that, we have to add our ground scroller. We have to add it. Just copy and paste it here. Let's create our script. Then we have to find this. Here we have our ground scroller, and then we have to just copy and paste this code here. Let's create our game manager, because we need this game manager in these two components. And now I just want to create a empty script called this game manager, and then we have to copy and paste this game manager here. Now we have our game manager. This game manager need UI manager and obstacle spawner. So let's create all of them, this UI manager and this obstacle spawner. And we have to create another script, mono behavior, UI manager, and then we have to find UI manager. Here is our UI manager. Then we need obstacle spawner, and same as the other ones, just copy and paste. And this obstacle spawner need obstacle, so we have to find obstacle here, then create a script, mono behavior obstacle, and this obstacle is this code. We have to just copy and paste this. Now everything is okay. We can do our stuffs. The first configuration that we had to do was this configuration, max jump and jump force, and we have to set this ground layer. This is ground layer. This ground check we have to set animator and jump sound, and we don't have them yet, and we will set them. Here is our ground tiles. We have to set them here, and now we are done with our ground. And now let's move to our obstacle. For now I want just create a triangle for our obstacle. I want them to be black, something like this, and I want to make them a little sharper. Okay, and for each obstacle prefab, that means we have to create a prefab here. This triangle have to be a prefab. Now we have this prefab. We have to create a game object with a sprite render. We have it. We have to add a box collider, and we don't need box collider here. We have to add a polygon collider because we don't have any box here. Polygon collider. Then we have to add a rigid body. Let's add a rigid body 2D. Set gravity to 0. It makes sense. We have to tag it as obstacle. Here is our tag. Let's add another tag called obstacle. And now we have to tag our obstacle here. And then we have to add obstacle prefab to this game object. So let's move on. We have to create an empty game object for our obstacle spawner. Here, let's create an empty game object and add this obstacle spawner. Then we have to set our spawn point where we are going to spawn our obstacles there. For example, they will be spawn here. I want to call it point. We have to add this prefab here. We are done with our obstacle. Now we have to do something with our UI. When we want to do anything with in our UI, we have to create a canvas. Here is our canvas. We have to add a UI element, a text mesh. Then we have to put it here in the top right of our game. For fonts, I think 5 may be good. No, it's really small. 10, yes, it's good. Then I want to do some configuration here like this. And for color, I want some color like this. And also for my main camera, I want some color like this. I'll make it a little darker. Now we have this. Here in our canvas, we have to add UI manager. In our UI manager, we have this score text, game over panel, and final score text. Our score text is this text here. I want to call it a score. This is here. And as you see, we can't use text mesh as a text. It's okay. We can just remove this and add a normal text. In this tab, we have text. Call it score and place it here. And then you can add it here. We need a game over panel and a final score text. For a game over panel, I want to just create a simple panel without any text, just something like this with this alpha. And here GPT says to us that we have to disable our panel. This panel have to have a final score text and this restart button. Here I want to create a text final and a button called restart. This restart button have to have a onClick method. And here we have to set like this on restart. Really easy. And then in our game over panel, we have to add our panel, and for our final text, we have to do this. Then we have to create our game manager, and we created our game manager script here. Let's move all of this script to our script folder, and we have to create a empty game object called game manager, and then we have to do this here. We have to assign our UI manager. Here is our UI manager. We have to assign our spawner. Here is our spawner. Tags and layers, we did them. We create an obstacle and we create a ground layer for our game, and our player controller know this ground layer. And now our game is complete. We can test it now, and now let's see what GPT did for us. Here is our score panel, our obstacles, and I think the jump is really high. This is our score panel. Here is our restart button, and yes, we have our game. We have to move this a little down, and our jump is really high. uh, so let's increase our gravity scale to something like 8. And now let's test. Here is our game. Now our jump is really low. 4. I think it's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's cool. We can jump, jump, jump. Now we have our game without a single line of code. Now you can do something to improve your game. You can add some effects, you can add some more obstacles to your game, and it's really easy. You just need to come here in this obstacle spawner. Let's rename this spawner, and then you have to just add your spawner prefab to this array, and then you will have more obstacles. It will randomly spawn your obstacles in your game, and I think it's really cool. And now we have a game without a single line of code. We just use something that artificial intelligence, or here ChatGPT, provided for us, and we didn't do anything in the code. We didn't write a single line of code here. But you may ask, can ChatGPT replace us? I should say no. But why? Because it was just a small project. In a small project, yes, GPT is really good. It can do all things that we need. But in the big project, sometimes that we have a lot of challenge. We have something that no one did before. And in these situations, ChatGPT or other AI models can't do anything for us, and we have to think and find a way to solve our problems. So I think every time we need a human, we need a person to solve problems, and this person only can use GPT or other AI models as a tool, and this tool only help us to do our works faster, and it is just it, not more. And thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let me know your opinion about this topic that we talked about in this video. And I hope you see you in the next video, and goodbye.